Hello, everyone, and welcome back to As Above, So Below, a Dungeons & Dragons 2024 actual play podcast. I am your Dice Daddy Ty, joined today
Oh,
by... joined today by Proxy.
fuck he just said? Hey, what's up?
Unlocked.
I'll be Servova today. Proxy as always. What's up? How y'all doing?
Spider.
Proxy's pretty stun locked back there.
He was.
That was.
That's pretty funny. But I'm Cider.
Velkommen. Onyx.
What's up? I'm Onyx. I'll be playing Endro.
And last, but definitely least because of stature, Scarlet.
Short.
Hello, I'm Scarlet. I will be playing Remy Lacuna. And I'm not letting that Dice Daddy comment slide.
As you shouldn't.
I am so thankful you're not. Lovely. So, last time, we met our 4 adventurers joined in the lower levels of the Arthica. They had all been brought together by a series of letters that they all received indicating some sort of business opportunity, and were tasked with meeting in that one area. It turned into a very monotonous interview segment. Precisely. It was entertaining for me to make them suffer, but it was actually their turn. We met some very interesting characters, none of which really got named because I'm lazy. Ending off with who we thought was the curator getting kicked out as this tall dragonborn man wearing very, very nice clothing strutted in. That is exactly where we are going to pick up. So, the door behind you all slammed open as this tall, silver-scaled, dragonborn man with, like, sort of a fiery, fluff accoutrement. If you think like an Eastern dragon instead of a Western dragon, you got the right idea. Tall. He's got a brown leather trench coat and a matching wide-brimmed hat with a feather sticking out the top. Same with cowboy boots, and his last words were, "No need. They're already hired." I assume you all turned to see him, and he is slowly walking down the hallway, and he begins talking once more. "So sorry for the lack of information on your invitations. The nature of our situation is beyond strange." And he would step over, kind of shooing the terrier-looking person that you thought was a curator out of his chair, who does indeed get up and leave. This gentleman, he drops down into the chair and puts his boots up on the desk, and as he does so, a small panel slides backwards on the top of the desk, and a nameplate pops up from that, and it says Maximilian Teos on it. And he introduces himself. "Maximilian Teos, curator of the Arthica. So thankful to have you all here."
I have a question, actually.
Okay.
Would Remy, like, would Remy kind of, like, recognize this person from somewhere, either from their previous encounters with the guild and or from Tales from their father?
Both. This is not a... You and Servoa, like, both of you, like, you know, like, this person is not new to you. I think Endro and Ragnar look at this and they probably scrunch their nose because they're like, ugh, this pompous asshole, right?
This fucking city slicker here. What the fuck's up with him?
Nope, no thoughts.
Average barbarian.
Do you guys say anything to him?
Servo's just gonna sit there and nod politely, just kind of like, acknowledging the old entrance.
So we're in the same room, same desk, same everything, right?
Yeah, you're still standing beside your chair.
Cool. So I take the giant stone hammer, and again I put it on the desk, and I'm like, "You said you could help me with this."
2 seconds. I have notes.
His notes, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that you were gonna do this immediately.
Immediately.
Frame one.
You got to remember it's the character hasn't warmed up to you all, so he's very business.
Mm-hmm.
That's the motivation. If we're gonna talk motivation of the character doesn't know any of you yet.
So you just set the hammer on his desk?
Yep. Whoop.
He smiles and looks up at you, like meeting your gaze without standing. And he says, "Well, of course, but everything's reciprocal, is it not? You help me, I help you kind of deal?"
Reciprocity, my good friend.
I just look at him like, no shit.
Then we have come to an agreement. So, I bet you all are wondering exactly what you're doing here, right?
Well, as you said, details were a little lacking in the aforementioned letter, but here nonetheless.
That was a letter.
Invitation.
Yeah, it was the little piece of paper that you probably ate, Ragnar.
No, I just haven't opened it. I didn't know it was a letter.
Would you open it at this point, learning that it's a
Yes.
letter?
I would actually.
It doesn't. I don't have the exact text in front of me,
Fine.
but it effectively says, "Your feats in this world have granted you an opportunity at the Arthica. We would like to interview you on a business deal." That is the gist of the letter.
Okay. Well, I don't fold it back up. I just kind of squish it together and I stick it in my belt.
Servoa, looking over at Remy, is just gonna like kind of mutter, "Well, there's the bronze, eh?"
Yeah, definitely so. And only bronze.
So-
While you all are like kind of conversing amongst yourself, you see him like lean over in his chair and grab something out of a drawer. He brings his hand up. He's got a cigar in his hand, and he looks around as if to ask for a light, and then looks directly at you, Remy, and holds it out to you.
I was just about to say, and then Remy would pull out their lighter and light it for them.
I don't think y'all have caught on. Proxy definitely has. But he brings it up to his mouth and takes a couple drags off of it. And of course, if you were to follow the smoke trail, it's burning off at the top before it like disperses about the room. And he goes, "So, fuck, this cigar's too woodsy. We've been receiving reports and pleas from various societies around Cascadia talking about their ruins suddenly being activated, so to speak. So, we had an issue. Come, walk with me." And he stands up, beginning to walk towards the door, cigar still in hand.
Chair noise.
Chair noise.
Rags hammer off table.
I'm going to go ahead and preemptively apologize. This is going to be a bit of a block of me talking.
Mhm.
But
Not complaining.
I will give y'all some time to interject. he stands.
Exposition.
He hops up, walking out the back door, assuming you all would follow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, follow.
Onyx, you here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure I haven't heard from you in a second. And he would lead you all back out. And if you remember, the previous room had the situation where there was a door on the right and a door on the left. He goes around the desk and goes out, like, goes to the door on the left. And I think you all would visibly see the Tabaxi woman, like, grab a fan and start fanning herself as he walks by.
Oh, Mr. Maximilian.
Pretty much.
Hey,
And
valid.
he would.
Why does it smell like fish?
Oh my god, do you actually say that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
No.
had my noise suppression on. It was supposed to sound like. Why does it smell like fish?
Brother. Even I wouldn't go that far.
Ears
Oh
flatten
my
against
God.
head. Sorry about that, madam.
She doesn't seem to even notice anything happened. Like, she is going back to work pretty much immediately. But he goes back to that door, and I think anyone would be watching this guy. There's like a piece of the wall, like, jutting out a little bit on the right-hand side of that door. It is a left swing door, so it would make sense for it to be here. And he reaches into his coat and pulls something out of his breast pocket, and he's kind of hiding it in his palm, but he presses his palm against that little raised section, and you see a small burst of magic coat that section of the wall, wrap up around the door frame, and cross over onto the door. And you hear a mechanical lock turn. And then he takes his left arm, braces against the door, and pushes it open, spinning around into the room, holding it open for you all, beckoning the rest of you to come along. Any of you that wants to figure out what he's holding can make a investigation or perception check. You know, whatever skill you would like to use for that.
I will use investigation, but I'm going to just flat out assume it's an arcane key. Also, that's an 11. That's terrible.
An
Got a
11 ain't
13
bad.
if that's better.
13 is better. I think the
Invest.
two of you, like, know, like, you've seen this probably once or twice before. That he has a little piece of slate in his hand with a orange gleaming symbol of the Arthica on it. You can tell it's probably magical. It's glowing despite low light. However, neither of you have seen this room. Just as you all would breach, your ears pop as the ceiling goes from being kind of like 10 to 12 foot tall to probably a couple 100 feet tall.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
you all look out, and this is a huge university. Like, the building you entered does not match the floor plan of this room. And
That's
I
some
mean-
non-Euclidean.
I mean, there are, like, multiple floors of nothing but library space and researching desks, and it is busy, exceedingly busy. There are all kinds of people running about. Matter of fact, this music is really lo-fi for what's actually happening, but I couldn't find anything that was high enough. So, actually, no. I've got something right here. Here we go. Let's do this instead. So, you guys step out into this huge room. It is similarly adorned to the prior one with beautiful architecture, very nice craftsmanship. And as you all, like, he kind of leads you deeper within, and all of these researchers and squires are like, they're bustling about, going to and from. Y'all are like going through, and they would all regard you with hello and good evening and welcome to the Arthica, and all of this stuff. One common detail you all would notice is that they all have a similar slate to Max's, hung about a lanyard around their neck, bearing a Arthican sigil as well, but instead of glowing orange, they glow blue or green. Most also have very beautifully embroidered uniforms, and all are kept up very nicely with collared shirts, pants or ankle-length skirts, and laboratory coats.
So basically, you just used a school ID.
Ye old key card.
Ye old card.
Yeah, I mean that's actually a very good analogy. In kind of the idea. I mean, it's not necessarily like a school ID. It's like a little bit more advanced than that, but
Yeah, the equivalent to it.
yeah, like
So it's a lab key card.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Literally.
Literally a
What'd you say? Kind of cut out for a
key
sec.
card.
Yeah, it's just a key card. Anything else? Anything y'all are curious about before I move on?
Actually, you said there was library like spaces.
Like pretty much every wall, if it's not got like a glass front for like to show a lecture hall, it's more than likely bookshelf space.
I'm assuming there's books in it. Can I trail off just slightly to read one of the books?
Oh my god, not this again.
You want to go look at one of the books?
Yes. I want to just pull a random one out and see what it is.
Sure. So you can go over to one of the walls. How far do you trail off? Like just something that's close by, or that...
medium distance, just a little bit.
Okay, so I want to let y'all know y'all are moving. Y'all are actively walking. So Kobold, you are straying away from the path, right?
Yeah, just a slight bit.
Okay. You go and you just pluck a random book off the wall, right?
Pretty much, yes.
Do you
I reach
return with
back
it?
and I grab Cobalt, and I'm just like, nope.
I do not.
Literally pick you up by your collar and just nope.
Pick him up like a fucking cat.
Yeah, I have a 17 strength. I'm pretty sure I can do that.
Kobold, I want you to. Do you contest this? Like, actually contest this, or are you gonna let this happen?
I'm gonna contest it. I want to read a book.
Okay, I'm not gonna have y'all do a grapple check, but I want to see just a straight dexterity save to see if the kobold could snag a book before she was grabbed.
Oh, okay.
While y'all roll this, I'm gonna say Servo is gonna check this as well, or is gonna note this as well. Kind of just lean back as we're walking. Go. Remember, we just had something. Some sort of slate to get in here. This is probably restricted access. I wouldn't recommend digging around in what's not yours. He just keeps on walking on.
Hey, a look can't hurt. I'm not gonna steal it.
It really can. Information's power, and people are careful with that.
It'll be fine.
Did
So I got
you-
a. What
What'd you
did
get?
I just get? I think I got a 13. No, 12.
Yeah, I mean
I got a-
that's.
I got a 13.
Cider, I don't need you to roll. I just want
okay.
you were gonna pick the kobold up. I just wanted to see if she could like grab a book off the
Fair enough.
shelf without really paying a lot of attention. Remy, you grab a black leather bound book with silver binding and engraving on it. The cover has the image of a cauldron and some runes. You wouldn't necessarily recognize them, but the edge, the bind of the book, the title is Black Principles.
Black Principles. I'm gonna keep that in mind for no reason in particular.
Okay. What are you gonna do with the book?
Honestly, can I make? I kind of want to take it now.
So I think you would understand that this is a library. So it's not like a crime to take a book, you know.
Servo.
But you know, like I'm not gonna ask. But if the others want to make you put it back, I'm just gonna, you know, it takes no appreciable effort to hold on to a book, right?
Yeah.
So,
I wanna
what do you
hold-
want to do? Do you want to just hold on to the book?
Yeah, I want to hold on to it.
Anything else from anybody?
Eh.
Not gonna stop him this time.
Yeah, because I still have those 2 books from the first time, right?
Do what?
Yep.
Do you
Okay.
still have
That's it.
those?
Yeah,
I
because there was one based on the fighting styles, and then there was the one that Remy was originally looking at.
I thought I had y'all put those down.
Oh no, I took it with me.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought
Yeah.
I would have put it back at least.
No, you put it back, but I grabbed it.
What did you do with those books?
I just kept them with me. I never put
Did
it back.
you
I just held on
did
to them.
you like keep them in hand, or did you?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. No, I kept them in hand. I just I just walked around with them.
I think I want you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
It's actually going
Where's my perception? There it is.
Dead air is great for podcasts, guys.
Oh yeah,
no.
sorry.
It's rolling.
What?
Would you say a 14 is high enough for me to
Got an
notice
8.
that?
What? So hang
Would
on.
you say that's a perception?
Hang on. Let me one at a time. Onyx, what'd you get?
8.
Okay. And Proxy, what are you asking me?
Would you say a passive perception of 14 would notice those 2 books? Sorry, passive perception of 12.
I think you would notice the lack of those books, and Onyx seems, or rather, Enjo seems to be holding air.
Okay.
Fuck. I left the books. Can I go back and get them?
If
really
you
get back-
you
don't really-
Onyx, Endro, you don't notice that you don't have the books right now.
That's
That's
hilarious.
the whole
God
point of
damn, I
that.
set them down on the ground in the previous room, and I forgot to pick them back up.
Yeah, you must have.
Just left them
Um,
on the desk.
I was so bored. I must have fucking fallen asleep and dropped them. during
I
that.
mean, you know,
probably-
the,
you probably
the
fell asleep
interviews
during
were
the-
pretty. The interviews were pretty
boring.
heavy.
Tedious.
Pretty
Yeah, I
slow.
just dozed off.
I don't know. That was a
Dropped them
difficult
and didn't
interview.
realize it. Damn! I'm too lazy to go look for another book on this library. I'm good.
Sure.
All right.
Um,
Anything else?
What'd you say the book was called again?
It was called Black Principles.
Black Pen.
notes.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
if,
dumb.
if you would,
There's a notes section.
I will add it to you. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry, Cobalt. I'll give it to you.
I immediately fucking smack him over the head with the book.
No, come on now.
That was set out of character. That was set out of character. I am still holding your dumb ass, by the way.
That is why you deserve to get smacked with the book.
You're like flailing at me, and my character's just kind of like leaning away from you, kind of like, okay, that's
Oh
annoying.
yeah.
Just kind of like, yeah,
Iconic.
right, yep.
Let's see, can I have you do me a favor?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
You are a wizard of some variety. I think you would recognize what this book has. Can you do me a favor and make just like a quick perception check as Remy's like holding this tome?
As he's flailing the tome at me, my character, and I'm just kind of like, yep, that's cute.
We stand right around the 10s. We're gonna get a 13 on that one.
Okay, I'm going to send you some information.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Love secrets.
As I am flailing, As I'm floating and Ragnar is just like fucking picking me up, I'm gonna blow cigarette smoke in his face.
Really?
Deserved.
Really?
It's hardly a way to treat your new coworkers. Come on, let's be friendly, y'all.
I cough and drop your ass.
Like 6 feet off the ground.
I'll say as you fall to your ass, a mage hand comes down and like grabs you by the horn and helps you back up.
Remy is going to hold up their hand in a sign of appreciation. It's just kind of like a half wave.
Yeah. Mage hand's gonna then float down to like. I assume you either put it in like a breast pocket or you're holding it in your hand. It's just gonna tap the book and then just dissipate immediately.
I would say that book is in no way unable. Like Remy has to hold it in 2 hands. Like this is a big book.
It's a tome.
Literally a tome.
Yeah, I sent you some information based on your roll result. If you would like to read through that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That goes hard.
It's fine.
All right. So what?
So we had our little squabble.
All right, we good to keep moving?
Yes.
So
I'm
you
surprised,
guys,
I'm surprised fucking, what's his name? Pretty boy hasn't been like, what are y'all doing? Because there's commotion. I mean, there's like legit commotion going on.
I mean, it wasn't.
he is just like watching.
What, question?
Yes.
Can I look around and see how the other employees are just looking at us? I want to see the people's reactions to what's going on.
So yeah, so I also want you to make a perception check with this, but I'm going to give you a lot of information before you do. So you notice the distinct lack of people like paying you any attention, really? It seems like everyone's a little bit too busy to like really watch these newcomers do anything. They still regard you, of course, but they're not really like doing anything, especially considering that, you're in the accompaniment of what you assume to be their boss.
Yeah.
Like, why would they stop you? But go ahead and make that perception check for me.
It is rolling. I got an 11. God damn it.
So that's
rough.
still good enough. That's still good enough. You look around and you notice there is someone approaching the group pretty much immediately. Like directly, I should say. More directly.
What are they wearing?
Hang on. I'll tell you in a second. More importantly, she's like approaching Mr. Teos, and she gets closer and you notice some details about her. She is wearing, instead of the normal like dark brown or like white that the employees wear, she is wearing navy with gold accents. Button up shirt, well fit, like dress pants, but she has a leather pauldron on her left shoulder and is wearing a rapier on her right.
Friend.
And she appears to be a Vulpin, which is a fox-like person, a little bit smaller in stature, about 5'2", 5'3".
Cute.
And she approaches Maximilian, who, like, as if he knew she was coming, he turns around just as she like gets close enough, and I think you all would hear. Oh, she's also carrying a briefcase. That's a detail that I need to note. She's carrying a briefcase. Proxy, background noise.
Was it?
You have a lot of background noise, buddy.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, say something.
What's that?
Okay, that's better.
Way better.
Bad.
You're good.
All right, we're gonna leave that in because why not? We love you guys,
Embarrass me, why
listeners. You
don't
get to
you?
hear hear everything.
Hey, you get to hear fan noises, not
My
MP3.
fuck ups.
Anyway, so this woman, she looks important, obviously, and she is like power walking. Like she's not running, but she's power walking up
Damn.
to Max, and she looks somewhat excited. And she approaches the group and says, she asks, "Is this the group you sent for? Oh, thank those above!" And Max cuts her off and says, she introduces her and steps aside. All of you, this is Dr. Amanda Wilden, and she is over external affairs. And she continues, "Oh, of course, where are my manners? Welcome to the Arthica. I suspect we will be in close contact in the weeks to come. I have to go for now. I will speak to you all later." And she basically scrambles off, right? Like she waves like over her shoulder as she continues. It seems like she's on some sort of little mission going on.
I see.
Anything else y'all want out of this before I continue?
Can I give a little look at that rapier? Is it enchanted? Is it special? Is it fun?
I don't know that you would necessarily be able to get a close enough look at it to determine whether it's enchanted, but being someone who deals with them, you would note that it has a very intricate basket, and it seems to be made out of a Damascus steel in the blade.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, it's less of a rapier and more like a half-basketed sword. It's got a little bit too big of a blade for it to be a rapier.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's cool.
That is very cool.
Max would beckon you all to continue if you didn't have anything else.
Yes. Sorry, there's a bit of distraction. Let's keep going.
He starts walking backward as he explains. So, where was I? Right, the issue. We don't typically deal in these things, but as arbiters of history as we know it, we kinda have to do something about it, right? He takes a long drag of his cigar, dispelling his smoke through his nose away from the lot of you, before continuing.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. I'm sorry, I think I might have skipped something. No, I didn't. Okay. So that's where the lot of you come in. Adventurers, would-be or otherwise. I chose the lot of you myself, and I was, and continue to be, impressed by each of you. For instance, Ragnar, your feat of lifting that whole stone sent shockwaves throughout the historical world, and yes, we will help you with that.
I stand up tall. I'm just like, like I'm awesome.
Remy, your dad, Stain, I worked with him closely for many years. I figured his blood's gotta be good, and, well, look at you. You've done well for yourself.
Remy is going to exchange a chuckle and then say, "I've heard a little bit about you. Not much I can remember, however."
Hopefully all good. He gives you a look, like a little playful smirk, and he turns. Servoa, your work here has already been pivotal in preserving the history and rights of many societies. I'd be remiss not to utilize your skills here.
Servoa just gives a polite smile and like a nice head bow.
And Sir Phalanx Endro, your skill in combat is not to be understated. I know the least about you, but I just knew you would make a wonderful fit.
I have my reasons for being here. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
invited like the rest of us.
He grins and says, Come, I'm sure you all have questions. Let's go down to the museum. Much fewer people there.
Servoa's eyes sparkle up. The mention of museum.
Yeah, like, Servoa, you have seen some of the Arthica, like, sponsored and curated museums. But you
The
can only
deep shit.
imagine...
This
Yeah,
is private shit.
Yeah, this is the deep shit. Like, this is, like, very Like, this is in the headquarters. But you all get led through the campus. This is like a 10-minute walk that I'm condensing. So when like anything y'all want to add, feel free to after I'm done. You all get led through the campus down a flight of stairs, a wide flight of stairs, I should say. This is designed for high throughput of people, into a foyer. As you reach the threshold of the museum, the hustle and noise of the university above almost instantaneously silences. Soft piano music would fill all of your ears as you step into the foyer, and almost instantly you would also spot the piano that's making the noises. Anything? Breaking for you guys.
Neat.
Lovely.
I'm good.
Is it an autonomous piano? Is it playing itself?
Feel free to approach it. It is a grand piano that you can tell, but you cannot see, like, the keys are facing away, so you cannot see what's going on. Feel free to approach it if you would like.
I will approach it.
Yeah. Maybe like peek my head over, looking at it. Curiosity. Also say that while we're doing this, especially while we get closer to the museum aspect of it, Servo is gonna have like a small like journal out and just like doing little notes, and he's a fucking nerd.
Yeah, so the piano, you approach and you kind of go around it a little bit. This isn't particularly important, but I like explaining a little bit. You look into, like, I would assume you would like look at the mechanisms of the machine, and you see it's less of like a traditional piano. It's got a lot of machinery in there, and you would assume this is some kind of player piano. Normally these things are still like hand operated, but you would go around and look, and the crank is spinning on its own. The keys are still being depressed and being played, but what's really interesting is that it has the cadence and imperfection of a actual person playing it. Like, it's got the way that a person would play it rather than the perfect mechanical strike of the hammers on the strings. It is very interesting.
That is cool.
That is actually kind of cool.
I don't have proper piano music, but I hope that this gives a little bit of a nice vibe. You all kind of, look around this museum. This is like just the entrance area, but there are still display cases. Does anyone want to look at anything?
Sure, I'd look at a display case.
Describe the display case that you're looking at, and I'll tell you what's in it.
Wait, did you describe?
No, like, I'm asking you to describe the display case, and I'll tell you what's in it.
Oh, a weapon display case. Why not?
Okay. You look, within the display case, and there appears to be a very, very grand-looking great axe. Like, I mean, you don't think that you could even begin to attempt to wield this thing. It is a double-headed bearded axe, made out of a blackened steel, each head having a visage of a saber-toothed tiger on it, with the fang being along the beard of that axe. You see a little placard, and it has some interesting information. It's less of like a historical and more of a like a categorical like thing. You would assume this is less of a public facing thing and more of like just a this is what this is kind of thing.
Kind of like it.
Do up.
I see.
Do up. You were gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's kind of like a collector thing. Is the vibe I'm getting?
I mean, yeah, it's like a collection, and it's less about the history and more about the actual content. So it would describe effectively what I just described, but it would also tell you what it is. This is a ancient Fluroxy make Berserker's axe.
Ooh.
It is described to be cursed. Anyone that would be in contact with this weapon for longer than a day, like, have it on their person or be wielding it, will become cursed, and they and they are completely unwilling to part with it, and they keep it within reach of all times. Any weapon that the person tried to use while they had this curse seemingly couldn't make it land, or any blow that they landed was a horrid one rather than a proper one.
Kind of cool.
Oh, parasitic.
It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Anything else?
Nah.
I'll head over to another case. I'll go to one opposite of Remy, since we're just hanging around this room for a second. I'll check out a nice glass case with a like a fragment, or like a nice glass wooden case, probably holding like an artifact from a long dead culture.
Okay. You would find a interesting scrap of cloth, like almost as if it were weightless within, and it's kind of strange, really, but when you look at it, it's kind of got this sort of lenticular lens kind of effect, where those like holographics where if you bob your head left and right, it like changes what's on the image, but instead it's the whole piece of thing almost changing shape. And the placard says that research is still being done on this particular piece, but it is too fantastical to hide, so they don't know what it is, but it's cool.
Something.
Can I make a history check just on the off chance that I might have like come across this, like that maybe nobody else knows, but maybe that I came across something about it?
Due to your nature, I would say so. Go for it.
Yeah.
Damn.
25 get me.
A
Jesus.
25? Yeah, I'm sorry, a 25?
Yes. I have a +6 to history because
Yeah.
Bro.
that's the first I rolled.
Yeah, so a 25. You... how do I say this without spoiling stuff?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is what
Never expect
improvising
my roll.
gets. So you definitely do recognize kind of what this is. You at least recognize the technique used to make it. It's the details kind of elude you, but you know that something like this can only be woven in a rift.
Ooh.
And you would know a rift is like a hole that is ripped between two places. Like think teleportation. This can only be made in that space between.
So that explains its non-conformity to reality.
Correct.
I forgot to do the accent with that one. Is that all the information I could get from that?
Right now, yes, because frankly,
Awesome.
I don't have a lot.
Yeah, no, that's fine. In that case, just like really quick scroll. Servo's gonna like rip a page out of his journal and scroll out the information he knows, and just sets it on top of the glass case, and then signs it off with Servoa of Servon at the very bottom of the corner of the page, with like a nice little quick description of what he knows. He just leaves it there and then walks away.
No.
turn with Maximilian and the rest of the group.
Interesting.
Can I sleight of hand it, by the way? So it's like nobody else sees that I'm putting this paper down over top this artifact? Over top the glass case?
What is your, like, dex modifier?
My dex is, we got a dexterity of 2.
+2?
2, yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna just wave my hand and say that a roll wouldn't even matter because you are naturally kind of like that. So
Yeah.
I don't really mind you just doing
Okay.
that. Anything else
Pretty
from
funny.
anyone else, or should I maybe prompt you with something interesting?
I'll take a prompt.
Actually, no, you don't get one because you already did something. Ragnar,
No.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might catch your eye, but I don't know how much Ragnar cares. So, you can tell me how he would react. But there seems to be a flagstone, and I think your hammer has runes on it, right?
Yep.
You would notice some of the same runic patterns that you would have seen on your hammer being repeated on this flagstone.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't think he really wouldn't do much about it. He'd notice it and be like, "That's interesting."
Yeah, exactly.
Typical lizard. Like, okay.
Yep.
Blink.
Honestly, Endro, I don't think you would really be looking at anything in particular because there is a lot here. Like, knowing where you come from, this is probably like overload. Like, what the fuck?
So many emotions at once, so many weapons,
Like,
Yes,
so many tools to survive in the arena.
yes. And beyond that, I mean, I'm gonna say, the Fluroxy settlement is not exactly the highest technologically advanced. What it's based on was fairly advanced for its time, but it still falls behind, by now in game. In any case, Mr. Teos would put out his cigar and drop it into a particularly designed trash can. It's almost as if he does this often. And he would wait for everyone to be done ogling the magic items before gathering them, and brings you all back to a little cafe area. He wouldn't get a drink for himself, but if you guys wanted something, it would be something that he would let you do before he began.
Is there a salt lick?
Is
Do you-
there
Are you serious right
Oh my
now?
god.
No.
Okay.
No, I like the question mark at the end of that. No.
There may not be a salt lick, but there's like a
no.
Himalayan salt lamp plugged into the wall. I'm kidding.
crazy.
Suddenly, Servo's eyes go cross, and he slowly starts
Licking the salt lamp.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. Ooh, it's salty and warm.
Oh my god, you guys.
Servo's just gonna get a water.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can get whatever you want within reason. You can't get health potions here, sorry. I know Ragnar probably chugs those things like it's nothing, but so I'm just making sure. I feel like I'm left something out, but
I think
Okay.
so.
so to recap the information that you guys know, he kind of danced around what was actually happening. He said that people are saying their ruins are being activated, with it like big air quotes around it. At this point, he would clarify that I'm not going to do it in character because I just need to get this information out. He would clarify that each case is wildly different, and it can be as simple as what would be grave robbers trying to steal things and, like, pilfer and destroy, to, the actual, like, ruin turning on and becoming active once again, as if it had never stopped. Generally, the Arthica hires people to handle these things. But these sorry, I'm getting distracted by the conversation that's happening in general chat. Let me back up. Future me, cut this. Okay. So he would clarify that the ruins are, what he meant by activated is that it could be anything from people going into them and trying to steal things or desecrating them, to them just starting back up in some other cases, like, ancient factories and, other similar magical things happening. And it's normally the Arthica would contract adventurers to do this work. And of course you would all probably think, are we not being contracted? And he would clarify that by saying, the reason we don't do that anymore is because the contractors realized that the Arthica would pay any price to make sure that these things were preserved. Something that I'm sure Sevilla probably appreciates. However, it was starting to get to the point where a simple courtesy call would be in the multiple thousands of gold, and that is frankly exorbitant for the actual work that's being done. So they figured they would instead invest in themselves. And the whole point of you guys coming here is he wants to hire the lot of you to actually do the checkups and maintenance, and basically be the people that goes and make sure that these ruins are still safe.
Makes sense.
He specifically chose each of you because you are all adventurers. You're not just researchers. In the case of Servoa, you guys can actually hold yourselves in a fight, and he expects that there's something stirring in the world, and he has a feeling that it's about to kick off a lot more. So he figured might as well go ahead and hire some experts to take care of the situations as they arise.
So, just saying is we're your front line.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
So what you're saying is that we're your front line.
Yes, that would be correct. You would be the first ones to enter, and well, not necessarily the last ones to leave, but you would make way for our researchers to come in and handle the rest. Now, this also means that I will be sending you all to new places that have not been cataloged, and we will definitely need some people to get a first impression of what these ruins are. Now, I cannot say what these missions are, that is not my job. That is Dr. Wilden, that is her thing. However, I will be very thankful to hear any accounts that you would all bring back. Anything else? Oh, some very important details. Of course, money is a very, very important thing. Anything that you would gain from completing a job first must come to us. We will deduct our cut, and you all will receive a disbursement into your own individual purses.
Interesting.
Naturally, most cases will be prepaid, or otherwise will have payment arranged, so you do not have to make any collections yourselves. Of course, anything that you find um, in these ruins or on your adventures would be your property first and foremost, so long as you are willing to sign it over to us in case we need it. You will still maintain ownership of the item. We will just do any research required to gain any information. But that is something that is beyond necessary right now. But we will be paying you well. To that end, food and board are included on any Arthican owned properties, and we will happily work out deals on your behalf to stay in allied or otherwise locations. Eventually, we will have a airship commissioned for the lot of you to fly. Of course, you will not have to crew it yourselves. We will provide the crew. However, any cost incurred will be forwarded to those of you that are running it.
I see.
Are these agreeable terms? Get to
Sound more than-
travel the entirety of Cascadia on the whim of adventure alone for the cost of doing a little bit of work here and there. I mean, come on, you get your own airship. I would take this
Sounds,
opportunity if I were younger.
It's more than generous to me.
Sounds
Excellent.
like pretty great terms to me.
Wonderful.
Kind of like
So
look at
I'll
him.
Take it.
Just kind of like look at him, and I'm like,
Ragnar's on the fence.
I don't like heights.
Then don't stand on top deck. You'll be fine.
Kind of a shame. Cider made a character in an airship campaign that's afraid of heights.
No, not afraid. Doesn't like. Two
Oh,
different things.
That's fine. We can just put him to sleep.
just don't look out the windows.
Got a spell for that.
don't go to top deck.
Yeah.
So you guys all agree, and we're going to montage a little bit. You guys get to sit through a long bout of HR paperwork and other, sign here, here, and here. Like you all, yeah, it almost feels like you're signing your fucking soul off to this company. But of course, anyone that would actually read the terms would know that they're more than fair. The only thing that would really concern you is how they handle transition of ownership. So basically, anything that you would collect is first and foremost the Arthica's property, while you are in their you are interred upon them. But you still keep it, but for legal reasons, it is equipment that is owned by the Arthica. It is just under lease to you for 0 coins, right?
Yeah.
It's just some very
That's
strange,
gonna get
legal wording.
messy later. It's gonna get messy later.
It is.
I have a question. While we're signing this, are we all in one room?
Ask me what are you trying to get at? Is my question.
So basically, literally, just because I think it's funny, while everybody's skimming their contract or just maybe putting down their name immediately, Servo is sitting there with his legs crossed, with the paper in front of him like a newspaper, reading the entire terms of service.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are in the same room. Yeah. So I think Proxy, roll me like a D4.
Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Oh, sure. Just how many hours it takes. We got 2 hours.
It's not the amount of time it takes.
Oh damn.
This is the information that I want to give you, the individual. You find a very bizarre rule in there. One of the rules is, while interred in the Arthica's service, any donkeys that would be in service with you are not allowed to sleep in bathtubs.
What?
Not mules, just donkeys.
You know, if they had to write that had to happen. That had to be a fucking
What's the
reoccurring-
story behind the reason for it?
I know,
What's
right?
There's always a
Pretty
reason.
funny.
What happened? What happened that first led to the donkey getting into the bathtub? And what happened afterwards that would need them to ban it?
I know.
Well, some say centaurs are from the Feywilds. Well, you're in.
Oh my god,
Oh,
no.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking
No.
about centaurs. I'm talking like actual
Just
donkeys. Any donkeys that are being used like in Arthican jobs are not allowed to sleep in bathtubs, and there's nothing else about it. Like there's literally no other rules about service animals in the like signing documents.
Oh.
It's just one of the guidelines in the employee handbook.
While I'm skipping over, do I see this
Wow.
too?
Roll a d4.
Okay, sure.
I think Servoa announces it, like he's silently reading it to himself, and then he suddenly goes, "No donkeys in the bathtub." Okay.
I got
and then
a
just
three.
continues reading silently.
So by the point he is, Servoa has gotten to reading this portion of the contract, Ragnar is done signing it because he doesn't care.
Since
It could
they
be
don't-
on page 1. I'm done. I'm literally
click the
done
check
signing.
mark.
I don't
Bro,
care.
just click the check mark.
Yes, exactly. Don't care. It could say your soul will now be in service to fucking us for all of eternity. I don't care.
type shit.
You want to know why? Because good luck. Good luck making me.
Fine today.
Remy, what's that d4, buddy?
I got a 3.
Okay. No one, not even Maximilian, is allowed to ride a bicycle in a swimming pool.
What?
Which means at some point Maximilian rode a bicycle in a swimming pool.
I'm just going
He
to
cast walk on water on himself. He got on a bicycle and accidentally rammed somebody under the water. Caused them to
Remy's
drown.
just going to like slowly look up from the contract and just fucking side eye Maximilian. Like what happened?
He's like got his elbows on the table with his chin rested on like his hands, and he's just looking at you with a very sly smile.
What
Oh,
did
Lord.
you do?
The question is, my dear lady, what haven't I done?
You're half the reason for this thing being so long, aren't you?
All he does, like, he just like grins, all teeth, like no context, no other response.
Is,
Um,
is Maximilian also the reason for the donkeys?
Lord.
Oh God.
Another, like, I'm not gonna have y'all roll for this. This is another one that I wrote down. It's illegal to mistreat rats in the headquarters.
Actually, probably a pertinent rule.
What is-
y'all? I'm gonna have y'all
kind
know.
of makes sense.
I'm gonna have y'all know. I wrote this at 6 in the morning after I got home from work. So these
least
are
it wasn't-
silly.
At least it wasn't gerbils.
Yeah.
Lord.
No microwaving germ.
Just,
I don't think
this is
microwaving is the
D&D.
problem.
This is
I guess
D&D,
it's,
y'all.
guess it's time to put away the clue traps, I guess.
All right. Do y'all have any other questions about like the situation that y'all are about to put yourselves into, or?
Nope.
So signed.
Uh,
I get to look at ancient shit. I'm happy.
Onyx, you sound like you had something.
no, I'm good.
Alright.
I think after this, I don't need any more information.
All right.
I don't need to know.
So, a few in-game days pass at this point. You guys get successfully onboarded. You are all issued a green key rune. They are made out of a small piece of slate and they are enchanted with the Arthican sigil in green. There is a small loop for a leather strap, which is included if you want to wear it like a lanyard while you're on facilities. You would also know that these key runes escalate in level, starting at green, going to blue, then purple, then orange. There are only a few people that can hold an orange key rune, obviously.
Smack.
You would also have been taught some procedures for getting in and out of the Arthica. The doors back into this place are not labeled. You have to know what to look for. And when it comes time for you to find your way back in, I'll explain how that works.
Interesting.
But you gotta imagine all of this magic shit, like, y'all are kind of like, you get a little bit more information. This place is kind of a high target because of how much stuff is in it. All these magic items, all of these books, like, this is valuable.
Imagine.
both metaphorically and literally. By the way, you guys are contracted for 1 year. That is an important detail. You have a contract for 1 year, and it is renewable at the end if you so choose. We zoom back in to the lot of you as you guys are finalizing your tour of the facilities, now in the deepest, darkest parts of the museum. Like, this is behind 4 locked doors and an airlock kind of deep area.
Ooh.
I shouldn't say that. It's not that high security, but it's definitely in the lower levels, but I don't think you feel like you're underground yet.
I was with the airlock. What the hell is in here?
I need everyone, just like out of randomness, to make me a perception check as we enter this area.
That's a dirty
Perception.
20.
Yeah.
Okay, one at a time, guys.
Oh fuck.
Remy, what did you get?
A dirty 20.
Okay, I'll send you a message.
Okay.
So, what'd you get?
I'm a little busy looking at my notes. We passed a very interesting exhibit. I'm just like rereading notes. I got an 8.
You got an 8. Okay.
Yeah.
Onyx, Endro, what about you?
14.
Okay, I will send you a message. And Ragnar.
18.
Easy.
Okay. Alright, I'm actually gonna put it in your private channels.
You're using my private channels. Yay!
Using the thing we made.
I looked into mine. I forgot it was there.
So it's been, how long has it been since we've been walking around?
Like, you guys have like a couple in-game days passed between now and
Oh.
then, and y'all would have been able to relax a little bit. So everyone except, all right. So this is a very, very deep part of the facility. Not very many people are walking about. But you guys are approaching a room at the end of a hallway. Max is just waxing poetic about the fact that, like, just the high security and the fact that this room houses some very powerful sentient weapons. 3 of them, to be exact.
Uh-oh.
And he is beginning to approach the door at this point, and he brings his key rune to bear, and he stands to the side as he swipes it on the actual, like, scanner.
Mm-hmm.
and the door opens, and he is grinning very widely as he pushes it open.
Ooh.
And there are, each of you are looking, he's not. There are 3 display cases, each lit with a spotlight, and they are empty with melt holes in the glass on the front.
Oh.
And matter of fact, the molten glass is still glowing and sizzling on the floor. And he is still just grinning as if this is something incredible to see. Like, you know, these weapons have to be incredible. And he's just looking at you all, and like, what does everyone look like? Like, do y'all have like shocked expressions?
No, so I'm actually so Ragnar has found the cafeteria, probably the day one, and from that second on has always had some sort of beef jerky or something that he is constantly eating.
That was
Okay.
hard.
And so I'm just
You're
like
so
looking.
faithful of
I'm like
jerky.
I've got like some like jerky in my mouth, and I'm like, empty glass. That's what's so important.
Does anyone else have anything to say before I react?
Everyone's just gonna cock their head, just like, huh?
I feel like Remy would be extremely interested in this, like seeing what weapon could produce this, especially sentient weapons for an artificer.
Famed invisible dagger of Vagosha.
What?
Wasn't in character, I was
Max.
making a joke.
Max turns and looks at this scene, and his expression drops very sharply.
It's tasty cider.
Mm-hmm.
Ragnar, Endra,
Yep.
Scarlet, your mind immediately goes to that person that you saw walking out of this way. Do you
Mhm.
turn to like look in their direction?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You 3 meet eyes with this person, and they immediately turn their head and hasten their walk. And
I kind of like.
yeah,
I want to tail them. I'm interested in them now. Well, not like obviously tailing them, but like, you know.
well, what is everyone else doing?
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think I'd actually kind of follow Remy's lead.
Okay,
And
are
it's
like
Sneakily follow.
sneaking? They have noticed
like-
you guys looking, by the way.
But not sneaking, but like kind of keeping a distance, but tailing them.
Yeah, like trying not to make it obvious that way we're tailing them, but
I
Because
will.
they don't know. Would they know we're following them, or just that we've seen them?
I make an insight check.
Gotcha.
While you're doing that, I will say you guys do have all your stuff on you. Like, you didn't leave. Like, you would have been told, just have all your stuff on you. This is going to be a day, of adventuring. There's tests and stuff like that they want to do.
Okay, I
So-
don't even need to make an insight check.
So
I
I,
was just like looking between like Max and like this random person everyone's looking at, and just like, huh? It was like slowly clicking.
so this is like the glass is freshly melted, like it still smells like.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's still hot.
Oh, okay. So I like poke Max. I'm like, what about that guy?
His neck snaps around, and I think lizard to lizard communication, his body language immediately turns from amicable to hostile, and he fucking blitzes after the guy.
Oh,
Usually,
what-
I'm gonna pick it up.
Wait, yep. Immediately sensing hostility, I'll like place my hoof on my rapiers and just start like following after, I guess.
Yeah, so I assume you guys would like he just blew any cover you guys would have had, right?
Yeah.
So
Remy,
I assume y'all are in hot pursuit now, right?
yeah, Remy is
Of
going to be
course.
chasing after them while loading the revolver.
Okay, so something to note: their like coat looks like it's sewn together out of scraps, and like the sigil that's normally on the back is like hanging off a little bit, and they are in a fucking full run. But I want. Okay, let's see. Remy, make a perception check for that for me.
Perception check. Okay. I got a 4.
Okay. Okay. They continue running, and so what is everyone doing in this like short chase?
Remy's just trying to keep up and trying to like get closer. Of course. Well, they've already
How
already reloaded the revolver. So
How far away would you say they are?
Um, if they stopped, you would have to dash to catch up.
ooh, okay.
Did you say if I moved a full movement of 35 feet, would they be within 60 feet of me?
We're already within 60 feet of you.
Oh, cool. Are we in like a tightly packed hallway? Or is this
Oh,
like an
yeah, like,
open...
yeah, y'all are fucking, like, chasing through the labyrinth of hallways right now. Like, you know,
lovely.
you're knocking over, like, shit, trying to, slamming into corners, probably Ragnar, as he chases.
Oh,
Like,
can
you
say?
know.
I
Huh?
have a +3 dexterity, mind you.
Okay, never mind. He's not slamming into corners. He's just getting super, super close, and the items on the shelves are falling off because they're so scared of him.
All right,
you-
I think I can end this pretty damn quick. What I'm gonna do is, give me 1 second. I am going to activate my blade song as a bonus action. Can I get a bonus action and an action? Is this like normal?
I'll say you have like a turns level of shit to do. Like, yeah, that's fine.
Turns level of shit. Okay, I'm going to activate my blade song, which for Servoa, essentially as he jolts forward after being left in the dust, you see like this subtle green energy start to radiate from beneath his clothes. His fur around his neck seems to grow longer as he seems to become like slightly more bestial for like half a second. Then it retracts into just like a subtle green glow, and then he's just normal again. But he's really fucking fast. He jolts forward, and as he jolts forward, you see him reach into his side pouch or into his rapier. He pulls it out, whips it forward, and about 10 feet in front of the guy running, a sudden jolt of metal starts to ring through the holes as I cast. What the fuck is it called?
That's a really good spell right there.
Just had it in my head.
That spell goes hard.
I cast a cloud of daggers,
Ooh, I love clouds.
Oh
front of
shit.
them.
Okay.
basically blocking off the path forward.
Okay. Let me look up what that does real quick.
I can give it to you.
If you enter the area, you take damage, and it takes up a 1 square of 5 feet. And if you end your turn, it takes damage.
Okay. Since we're not in like actual combat, I'm gonna give him a dex save against dodging around this. Okay.
Okay.
Oof, that hurts. Yikes. Okay. Let me see a little bit of that damage.
Ooh, I will gladly roll that damage for you.
that's a good amount. Jesus
8
Christ.
damage.
How much?
8 damage.
Nice.
Wait. Reading this. Pop up on roll 20.
Hmm?
Pop up?
No, it did not
No.
pop up.
Oh.
It's fine. Don't
It
worry
was-
about it.
It was a 13, I think, is what you got.
Oh, I critted.
Yeah.
I rolled
What?
a 20. I rolled a 20
Huh?
because it's 4d4.
Oh,
Jesus, you got 4 4s? 4? What?
Yes,
What?
fucking so.
What?
Four.
What are you talking about a crit? Huh?
Hold on. Hemlock.
Hang on, I need to open fucking D&D Beyond. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Why? I just rolled an 8. My bad. I just got an 8.
Yeah, I'm
Points of
like, huh?
slashing damage.
Well, it looked like it rolled twice in D&D 20, because the first one's a 13, the second one's an 8. Do you not see this?
Hold on, let me go into roll 20. I might have.
No. It's not in Roll 20. It's in D&D Beyond. If you click on the little cube that says Game Log,
The game.
you scroll all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I did it
says
twice.
13 and, yeah, it did it twice. I don't know why it did it twice, but it did.
If you click the cast button, it automatically does a damage roll. I'll take the 8 though. Simply because it was the one that was said aloud by the player.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We're not in
It was a
combat
joke.
yet.
It was a joke.
Yeah, you guys, you see this person, like, go straight through it, and
Oh
their
shit.
yeah, their clothes get some cuts in them as they go through the cloud of daggers, but they keep moving.
One last thing as he moves through, unless you have more to say.
I will listen to what you had to say.
Servo will yell out, "Oh, that was meant to persuade you not to go for." Oh, the spell drops so we can move after him.
Yeah, so I think you guys would note that this person is running because they did something bad at this point. They're not running just because you guys are pursuing them anymore. The fact that they willingly put themselves through hurt would probably,
signal.
yeah. Like
A cloud of daggers, nonetheless.
yeah. So it seems like whoever this is probably has some adventuring experience as well, because they tried to make an effort to get out of it, but they knew it was coming anyway and braced. So they continue running out. At this point, you guys breach through a doorway and find yourselves in a courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, your ears pop. You feel like you're still in Arasalo, but you're nowhere near where you entered this facility from. And they breach out and look around a little bit before turning and looking at each of you a little bit more closely. I want everyone to make a perception check as they stare at you.
7.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, okay, so I heard
Ooh,
a 7. What did you get, Ragnar?
21.
Okay.
And I got a 12.
Okay. What did Remy get?
I got a 7. I'm the 7.
Andro?
4.
Okay. So the two of you that got over 10, you would quickly note this person is somewhat draconic looking. However, the color of the scales on their head and their legs does not match. And like a really cursory look, it appears as though the hands are like some sort of prosthetic, and they're a little bit stiff.
Oh my
they-
god. 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
3 kobold. Wow, that's funny.
Sorry, go on.
They look around, and like you guys are still in hot pursuit, right? Like y'all are cruising
Mhm.
at this point.
Yeah, I've
You
got
hear-
35.
How much?
35
Jesus
for
Christ!
the activated
Yeah,
blade song.
yeah. So there's a fucking rampaging deer with a fedora charging them with a rapier, and
Not a fedora.
I
She's
think.
not wearing a hat right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at your picture there. You hear 3 distinct voices.
Oh my god.
3 kobolds in a trench coat.
What should we do? Like, I don't know. Scatter! And the costume that they were wearing just fucking dissembles onto the floor. And as you all guessed, there are 3 kobolds stacked on top of each other. Each of them
Jesus Christ.
they're each holding some dangerous looking magical weapons. Hang on, let me finish real quick. The top one hops off and starts taking off in a direction. The middle one goes another direction, and the one on the bottom is looking around, clutching this dagger fearfully as it looks up at Servoa, knowing that it doesn't really have a lot of time to leave.
That's pretty
So,
funny.
Remy, what were you gonna do?
I'll say I want to use expeditious retreat to catch up to one of the ones that left already, for like the top one.
Okay. You can definitely make an attempt. So you cast that spell. Go ahead and expend that resource.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to roll me a perception check as you round the corner that this one went through.
Okay, perception. 12.
You round this corner, and you see that kobold holding what appears to be a very long sword. It sort of doesn't look like it was forged, more like grown. And he holds it aloft and incants something horrifically out of language possibility, just using these terrible guttural sounds, and the ground opens up underneath him and begins to swallow him whole. I will give you a dexterity check to see if you can get your hands on this thing before it disappears, but you don't have very good chances.
Understandable. Oh, we're anyway.
Before we resolve this, does anyone else want to do anything?
Yeah, I'll go after the
Chase,
other
what are
one.
the other- Oh.
Uh,
Can I follow Ragnar?
Yeah, sure. You guys chase after. Let me get a dex check from the 2 of you. Remy, what was that roll result?
I got a 13. Okay, I have a. Never mind.
You got a 15.
Reach out to try to snatch this thing's tail, and you just barely miss as the ground closes back up behind them. And you would note this strange magenta, fuchsia, purpley magic in the air slowly dispelling upwards. And it doesn't look like anything you have seen before.
I see. Knowing that this person, I've lost them already, I'm going to use as a bonus action the other thing of expeditious retreat to try to catch up with the rest of the group.
You don't need to use a spell slot again.
Yeah, no, because for 10 minutes I get to just as a bonus action.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that they changed how that spell works in 2024. Yeah, so you can definitely return to the rest of the group. Cider, Ragnar and Indro, you guys go barreling after this little... It's like a yellow-scaled kobold, and it's got like what looks like a staff, and it's moving at a considerable pace. and it's trying to deter you from chasing it, and it's casting little cantrips back at you and like throwing things. It is not good at this. But the staff seemingly rips itself out of the kobold's hand, kind of twirls the end in a circle, drawing a portal while the kobold's running forward. I would like to get a dexterity saving throw from the both of you to see if you can catch this thing before it tries to escape.
Okay, I got a 15.
Okay.
Oh. We got a 19 with the modifier of 120.
Ragnar, you just barely miss, but Endro is able to use your arm as like a pulling, like a propelling thing, like pull himself up and get a hold of this kobold's ankle, and it falls flat on its face. It screams and tries to kick him off. I'm gonna do a contested grapple. Endro, your strength athletics versus their acrobatics.
Where's my box? There it is.
That is kobold. It is immediately failing.
Unless I hit it. Okay, no, we're good.
You
What?
scare it and it dies.
19.
19?
19.
And then
Okay.
the kobold rolled a 20.
Watch it fail. Or watch me fail.
No, you've got it. You've got it.
Hey.
And it is kicking at you, screaming profanities at you. But you have it by the ankle.
Dearest DM,
Hi.
as a quick reminder, Cloud of Daggers is technically AoE, so it should be 8 damage to each kobold, not one individually.
Yeah, I know.
Just in
I
case
handled
comes
that.
into play.
I handled
Awesome.
that. Don't worry.
Just want to make sure. Thank you.
Why do you think I said
Can I-
yikes?
Makes more sense.
Yes, Andrew?
Could I, since he's calling me not so nice names, can I just, since I got him by the ankles, just start shaking him around?
Uh,
And I'm
yeah,
talking
you
like, I'm talking like Finding Nemo, that girl with Nemo in the bag type shaky. Like, I'll,
syndrome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much appreciable effort to shake the kobold, and they scream, "Fuck you, you double-feathered beast!" And they're scrambling, shit's falling out of their pockets, and the staff goes through the portal, and the portal closes behind it.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie,
Um,
I kind of forgot about the staff. I kind of forgot about the staff.
I think the stuff
Uh,
would have been
Okay. Endro, you have a kobold in your hand, but we go back to Servoa, and there is a tiny green kobold in front of you, terrified, clutching a dagger.
All they see is the fast approach of antlers directly towards them.
Um,
Ram them.
they
What do I
raise
have? What do I
they
have?
raise their arms in front of them to block it. I think, you know what? Let me see an insight roll before you do anything.
Oh, okay. I wasn't ramming them. I was just saying that I'm running towards them.
Yeah,
That's
still.
15 for insight.
You pretty much get the vibe that this creature is harmless and doesn't want to do anything.
Okay.
Matter of fact, as you get close, like if you like close the distance as if you're charging them, they fall on their butt and drop the dagger and start scooting away, horrified.
I will say then, Servoa comes charging forward at like a very steep lean, and they're like whip their rapier forward, and the rapier begins to like radiate like a cold mist as ice shards start to come around it, as they discreetly cast mage hands to go and grab the dagger and pull it away from them as they get scared.
Their eyes dart over to it, but they're so scared for their life they just like look back and lock eyes with you. Just this horror in their face.
And then softly Servo's gonna go, I'm a kind servant. So, if you don't mind telling me what you and your dear friends we're doing here, I might keep this sword from your throat. How about that, huh?
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Just please put it, like, get it away from my nose. It's cold.
Boop him with it. Gently, doesn't even hurt him. Then I'll bring the dagger to me, still holding it in the mage hand. Then I'll just take like a more relaxed position.
All right,
I'm not touching the dagger. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not touching it with my physical body.
you're smart. You're smart. Matter of fact, I think you would pick up on this, being a magic user. When they let go of it, you saw what looked to be that sort of purplish, pinkish magic try to reach back out from the dagger to the kobold's hand, but it couldn't get a grab.
I am so glad a kobold's cowardice is stronger than a curse.
But yeah, so Ragnar and Endro, you have a kobold dangling by an ankle, and Remy, you just narrowly missed catching the one you were after.
Pain.
I assume you all return. I assume you all return to the site.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I yell at the kobold in Draconic to shut up, and or I'll eat it.
Before you like finished the "I'll eat it" part, it looked like it was about to start like berating you, but it just folds its arms and looks away. It's still dangling by the ankle, right, Endro? Like y'all didn't put it down. Okay.
Oh, of course, he's still hanging by that ankle.
Kobold's just pouting.
Much.
Remy, Remy, you got something to tie this kobold down?
And then I would look through I guess I have a backpack or like a venturer's pouch or something.
Check your inventory, brother.
True.
Your inventory, brother.
Check that inventory, brother. Oh no, I have to add the Dagger of Soulness to this game now. Oh no.
Oh Lord.
The dagger of what?
The Dagger of Swollness. That is from one of my other groups. A funny little homebrew magic item that I did. Y'all, you can find it eventually. Don't worry.
There is in fact nothing in a backpack that can tie down a kobold.
You don't have rope, like at all?
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you said you would forego everything to get that actual revolver, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Man,
right. So
okay.
you don't actually
if-
have anything.
I
What
can't
if we
tie it
just-
down.
since
I
we-
have to put them down.
Since we regroup, why don't you just have Ragnar just pin him down?
That works. Yeah, that works. Actually, since Remy doesn't have it, Ragnar, can you pick this one up by its appendage?
It would offer its arms up to you.
I have rope.
Hold him. Oh, I mean, if you want to tie him down, it's up to you. I figured you'd have
The-
more fun carrying him.
The one that Servoa got to surrender, the green one, his hands are up. I'm not gonna resist. You can do whatever you need to. I'm not fighting. Nope. Fuck that. Fuck all of that.
Yeah,
Remy.
Little buddy
Remy.
knows what's good.
Remy,
Yes?
I need you to make a history check for me as you look at the green kobold.
Okay. Ooh, that is a 21.
You
goddamn.
look at this guy. You recognize him.
Remy?
This guy is one that went to school with you years and years and years ago, and this is the most pathetic nerd kid you probably ever dealt with, and this one was obsessed with you, right? One of that kind of guy.
Oh no.
I just look at the kobold, the green kobold, and I'm just like lick my lips and
Aw.
and then I take out some jerky or whatever I have and I start eating it.
You just see Remy with just a disgusted look as they're looking at this kobold.
Yeah, this is Richter. You recognize him, and of course his name is that because his parents were also nerds.
Remy is just going to just with the most blank expression go to Ragnar. Hey, you can go ahead and eat this one.
Hey. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Eat it. Why would I eat it?
That's a good question. Why would
I'm
you
just
eat it?
hungry.
More importantly, we got a cowardly little kobold here, and we got a serious theft on our hands, and we got a friend we can rough around if he's not too keen on replying. So I think we should maybe get a little information out of these little guys before we start cooking them up. Yeah.
Cook.
Jesus Christ!
Why
this-
do you assume we're gonna eat him?
I don't know. That's what Remy said.
Okay. At this point, Maximilian has finally rounded the corner, and he's winded. Kinda. He's not really winded, but he's like panting. And he looks, and he's kind of got a blank expression. And he goes, "There was only one. What happened?"
It was 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
And he like slings a spell like at the wall, and he just grits his teeth. That's the 3rd one this week.
This week?
Yeah, we've been having some interesting interactions with a local group. Well, I can tell you are definitely fit for the job that I have set. Remember how I said there was going to be some questing to evaluate whether you guys would actually handle what we had? I think this is going to be perfectly fine. Listen, you get whatever information you can out of these two. Find the 3rd, bring back the weapons that they stole from us, and we will see about getting you that airship. Sound good?
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I string up at my mage hand. Well, we
Yeah,
got
'cause-
one.
Oh, you can't.
I'm
do
gonna
it.
start shaking the one I got by the ankles again. Talk! Where's the 3rd?
I'll never spell!
Hey, that was inaudible.
Discord compressed you out a motherfucker.
Oh,
It did.
sorry.
It did.
I said, I'll never spell!
Again, same thing happened.
Jesus
He
Christ.
said I'll
fuck
never
this.
spill.
Yeah.
You've been decreed as background noise.
Mhm.
Easy work. Okay, I'm gonna turn
He
off
gets so
noise
many
suppression.
characters that Discord has toned him down.
Yeah, it's because I'm like, okay, let me get away from the mic. I'll never spell! Is that better?
Perfect.
Did it work that
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Okay, good.
That worked that time.
Okay. So, Maximilian looks just pissed off, and he just goes, "Excellent. I have a lot of paperwork to fill out, so just hold on to that." And he waves explicitly, and he like disappears through a random door.
Oh.
And it slams shut behind him.
Angry dimension door.
So yeah, that you guys have some work ahead of you, and you know, I'd say this is a perfectly good time to end this episode of As Above, So Below. Thank you all for listening. Stay tuned. We'll have more available more rapidly. I know I said next week last time, but it's kind of hard to coordinate 5 adult lives, so shit happens. But we will see the lot of you next
Schedule's my
time.
beloved.
Bye bye.